This is a use case study for Clarity AP software provided by TwinStrata Incorporated. A business college located in the Midwest was challenged with their DR strategy for two mission-critical business applications. They decided it was time to reevaluate their current DR implementation and make improvements to better understand what the business impact of an application failure would be. Leveraging Clarity assessment and planning software, the college was able to model their existing DR implementation within minutes and compare it to other DR solutions modeled with Clarity. This use case will show the most cost-efficient DR strategy for their mission-critical applications. Clarity based the results on a qualitative and quantitative analysis of data center configurations and actual business requirements. Before we get started, here is some background on the business college where Clarity was deployed. The college was established in the late 1800s and currently has over 1,300 students enrolled. It is located in a city setting near the state capital and has a single data center. The college's IT staff expressed concern for two mission-critical business applications where the amount of downtime associated with these apps was higher than expected. The first app, which is considered top tier, focuses on human resource management, finance, and student administration. The second app is for document, record management, and imaging for student data. The goals and objectives for the reevaluation were to determine ways to reduce application downtime and reduce the costs associated with downtime. To start, the analysis explored the current DR implementation in order to measure the potential business impact of an application failure. This analysis provided a solid baseline against which to measure both the business college's DR strategy and then compare it to other solution options, a return on investment. The business college's data center is made up of physical and virtual servers where both applications reside. The current DR implementation leverages Commvault software for disk-to-disk backups and backup to tape. The disk-to-disk backup target is a data domain DD510. Tapes are shipped off-site once per week to a tape vault service. Using Clarity, let's view the baseline results of the existing DR implementation at the business college. In a separate video, we can show how Clarity was set up to achieve these results. We started out by creating a baseline configuration that describes application capacities and location requirements as it stands today. For simplicity, we named the existing configuration existing, all the policies and components of the configuration during the setup phase. Clarity's reports display results in several sections: reliability preference, configuration results, sites, and workloads. The baseline results generated by Clarity for the two business applications echo the results experienced by the business college's IT staff. Relatively low application time of 99.07%, which translates into extensive downtime costs of approximately $121,000. However, the college does have reasonable DR implementation in place for each of the applications, but the cost of downtime is still significant. Now let's model other potential DR solutions to reduce application downtime and costs associated with downtime. One of the benefits of Clarity is its speed at which new proposed DR models can be created and then compared both qualitatively and quantitatively to existing DR implementations. It also quickly measures the potential impact of policies and proposals upon a data center's availability, uptime, and risk exposure. Now that the baseline configuration is established, let's model several DR configurations to see its impact on downtime and downtime costs. Let's create all models first and then run comparison reports from Clarity when finished. 4 models were created for this analysis. Let's refer to this first model as configuration number 1, where we introduce offsite replication to a colocation facility. 2 mirrored volumes are planned, 1 for each application. This colo is also fitted with standby application servers in the event of a failure. In the configurations window, we have an entry for existing plus colocation. The number in the parenthetical represents the configuration number, We did this to facilitate tracking within this video, but you can name each configuration as you please. In the Workloads window, you will notice two new workloads that were added to the existing configuration: App1 Mirror and App2 Mirror, representing mirrored volumes. App1 has a 64 GB volume that is mirrored to colocation Servmatics. The cost per hour of downtime is $2,000. An app restart time is 10 minutes. App recovery time is 20 minutes. Each of these figures are determined by the customer. Each workload is individually configurable. In the next model, configuration number 2, we replace internal server storage with an external iSCSI storage array by Dell EqualLogic. This provides for better storage redundancy and support for multiple RAID topologies. The remaining infrastructure remains the same. Configuration number 2 shows an entry named Existing plus EL. This represents the existing configuration with external storage attached. We set up volumes for App 1 and App 2 on the EqualLogic's array with RAID 5 settings. App 2 leverages the array for DR with disk copy enabled for its 97 GB volume. Each array's parameters can be found by selecting the Parameters button on this tab. The EqualLogic's array has a higher MTBF rating when compared to internal server storage. It also has a higher overall rating for array reliability and broader levels of redundancy expressed in various RAID levels. As mentioned earlier, each app workload is unique and easily configured. In the third configuration, we stay with the Dell EqualLogic's array and add 2 dual-node clusters of Veritas cluster server software. This increases server availability and significantly reduces downtime costs. This configuration shows an entry named Existing plus EL plus VCS. The VCS represents the Veritas cluster server. One can name this however they'd like. Selecting the primary sites in App 1 workload, you will find an area where we address the Veritas cluster server. In the fourth and final configuration, we take the prior configuration and we add a colocation facility to it, where application volumes are mirrored to a remote site. Now that we have 4 configurations set up, let's run a set of reports to discover the results. In the Configurations tab, we see a list of all 4 DR models we built along with the existing configuration. The models are numbered 1 through 4. Let's select the Report All button to the right and have a look at the results. Again, for purposes of this use case, we numbered each model in the order they were described in the video. By clicking on each configuration, the results for each are described to the right. Configuration 1, leveraging a colocation for mirroring, shows a great improvement in uptime at 6 nines and a significant reduction in the total cost of downtime below $9. Configuration 2, moving application data to external storage, shows little to no improvement in uptime, and the expected cost of downtime remains extensive. Configuration 3, adding Veritas cluster server software to configuration 2, does improve server availability, but there is only a slight improvement in uptime. And configuration 4, adding a colocation to configuration 3, greatly improves uptime with 6 nines and a significant improvement in cost of downtime at below $7. All of the results can be displayed in a bar chart by selecting the Comparison Screen button. By moving your cursor over each bar, results can be viewed right on the graph. Configuration number 1 and number 4 offer high availability. Adding a second site with failover capability, common to both configurations, is the single most important factor in achieving the goals set by the college's DR strategy team, and that is to reduce application downtime and to reduce the costs associated with downtime. Configuration number 1 and number 4 offer the largest savings too, more than paying for itself in a relatively short period of time. Download your copy of Clarity today at TwinStrata.com. And thank you very much for watching this video.